Johnson & Johnson is temporary, and we're going to talk to the CFO, temporarily paused its COVID-19 vaccine clinical trials due to an unexplained illness in a study participant. The development, first reported by Stat News, notes that the study is not under a clinical hold. That's the more serious hold. And it's not immediately apparent whether the volunteer received the actual treatment or a placebo. Seems like that would be a key difference. J&J says adverse events like illnesses are an expected part of clinical studies. But if they do find out, yeah, it was the placebo, well, then, it just goes without saying.
I don't understand. Apparently, it's not always immediately available for that, but I read through that a lot because it seems to me like you'd be able to figure out pretty quickly if it was shutting down your entire thing, if this was somebody who got the placebo or somebody who got the actual vaccine.
That's why it's called a blind, double-blind study or whatever. You wouldn't want people knowing who had it and who didn't, I guess. Somebody knows. I hope so, or else you get done and you go, geez, yeah.
Wow.
Maybe it's
the
unblinded.
The thing that I found striking about this is now the second one of these that we've had. AstraZeneca, as you know, put a hold briefly internationally on their efforts. But by the way, that effort, I believe, is not ongoing right now in the United States. So if, for example, there was a hold on the AstraZeneca project in the United States and a separate hold now on the Johnson & Johnson one. By the way, remember that AstraZeneca hold.
This is not a hold. This is not a hold on Johnson & Johnson. This is a step below that. It's a pause, right?
A pause, but there was a pause. The point I was trying to make was there was a pause. If you want to use the word pause and hold, I know there's a distinction between the two, but there was also a pause on the AstraZeneca program in the United States. If there also is a pause on the Johnson & Johnson program in the United States, then you're now down to Pfizer and Moderna as the most promising, or the only other two that are even ongoing. So when you think about the timeline for when these things become available, it could become more challenged.
All right.
I would wait until we see.
If you want to find, that's not like you to find the negative part of it. But I think the other one came back. It's not a different.
I hadn't realized. I don't know if you. I don't know if you had realized. I had not realized that AstraZeneca program.
Not a spinal thing like the other one.
I understand.
There's thousands and thousands of people in all these trials, and you're talking about 2 cases that you don't even know are going to result in hold. So it may push it out past the dates. May be bad, possibly. Possible.
Would have you imagined that the AstraZeneca program would be running everywhere else in the world except the United States right now?
I haven't thought about it.
Did you even realize that?
Haven't tried to imagine. It means,
but I think what it means is it's going to be harder for the AstraZeneca program to become available here in the United States in any kind of similar timeline. Right. That's the point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.